So what we're going to do now is, start with the use effect. So we can get data inside, parentheses inside, right side arrow, open brackets, and have the square brackets as well on the end. All right, we have our use effect right here. And inside of this use effect, we're going to create a function, an asynchronous function called get Pari data. So we can just do that easily by doing this, const get Pari data. And let's capitalize the Pari. Okay. Sync. There we go. Inside of here, we're going to first start by doing just a local storage clear, because every time that the app reloads and the data reloads, it always stores it in the local storage, and it could get very heavy after a while. So we don't want the user to have that burden on them. Their app is slowing down and everything. So I just recommend to always just to clear out your local storage, since we're not really using it. So it doesn't really matter for us. All right. Oops, that's actually a mistake here. I'm gonna have to edit this in the end, but yeah, you should be able to call now from the bottom. Wait, oh right, you can't do it like that. Okay, no, it doesn't matter. Can you get buried data? Nice. Okay, now let's keep going. Start by retrieving the contest. So we're going to create a pari-mutuals instance, which is going to give us all the pari-mutuals of the actual series ID. So we're going to be filtering by the 1 minute in this case, series ID pub key of the BTC-USD market. So we can do that by just doing const pari-mutuals. It's going to return like a huge array of objects. We're going to do pari-mutual web3. We're going to get into our pari-mutual instance. We're going to use the method get pari-mutuals. Inside, we're going to pass in the markets pub key. So we're going to pass in the selected market pair. It has to be an array, right? So I forgot. And then we just got to pass in a number of how many we want. Just got to put 5. All right. After that, let's get our, and we already have our duration. That doesn't matter actually. So yeah. Now let's use the pari-mutual web3 get markets to actually get the markets. So we're going to do const get markets. And we're going to pass in the market per enum. So we're going to pass in the selected market. Oh, sorry, an enum. My bad. So market pair. Okay. All right. After that, we're going to create a filter so that we can filter specifically by the durations that are about to expire, because the array is going to give us a bunch of contests, some that are going to, going to start, some that are locked up and, are in process of basically the contests are running live, and others that are already expired. We only want the ones that are about to start. So we don't want the ones that are before that, because those pools have still not being funded, and we don't want the ones that are expired or already locked up, because the users can't use those since they can't deposit those. So with to do that, we can just use a filter. So we can do const. We're gonna name it Pari Markets. Pari Market. I rather call it Pari Contest. Hxro equals. Let's actually use snake case. This whole thing. I want to start mixing up things. So we're gonna do a Pari mutual. Dot filter. Wait, parameter to the filter, sure. Or I should just do this. Await. Let's do that await right there. I don't have to do it here. Oh. So we're gonna have one that's gonna be called. We're gonna call our instance accounts or inside array, I guess, inside objects. All right. So from account, now we can actually start filtering. So we're gonna do account dot info or mutual. Let's get inside our objects. And let's go to time window start. And let's put to number. Right, so if time window starts is more than date now, and copy the same thing here, and account info the time window start is also less than date now minus or plus duration times plus duration. In this case, duration should be the time sec plus time sec and 1000. All right, and this should return us a actual parameter contests that are starting out immediately in the next phase. So we got like a 5. Let's say that we have like a, for example, something that the parameter object would return. It would be a parameter array would return. It would be an array of objects, right? So we got a one parameter contest, another parameter contest, another parameter contest, another parameter contest, another one, right? So we get a 5. Now, usually, how this looks like doesn't always look like this, but what it returns in the usual is going to be a one live contest at the moment. Returning a then it returns an expired. Return one that's about to be the one that's about to be truncated, so like another expired. A about to go live, so open, and another open. So the one that we're focused on right now with this filter right here is to get this open that it's about to go live. So that's the one that we're getting with this filter. All right, let's keep going. Now we're just going to be extracting the data from the actual contest that we got into. So fairly easy. All we really have to do is just first we're going to assign, I want to assign an actual variable to it. So we're going to do a const. We're going to call this contest equals current contest first object get into info dot parameter. All right. Now let's start assigning variables. So we're first going to get the actual the long pools and the short pools. So let's do that. So we're going to do let long pool let short pool and let total pool pool plus short pool. Yeah, nice. All right. So let's get our data here for the long pool. So this is going to be contest. Oh, this is contest. This is contest. Okay, there we go. All right, contest dot, and we're going to go to simply active long positions. I'm going to turn it into number 2, number. Same thing down here, but for shorts. This is just going to be instead of long, we just switch that to active long shorts positions. So there's another thing that we have to do here actually. So since we're getting this data straight from blockchain usually, and we get like numbers of like amounts for tokens or SPL tokens from or any other tokens really from any blockchain, you always have to, to make it more user readable, you have to divide it by the actual decimal that the token was created with. So by the decimal place. So if this token, for example, has a 9 decimal places, I believe. Yeah, about 9 decimal places. So create a quick constant that's going to be decimals. We got divided by 1 billion, basically. Right? And we're just going to divide these by decimals. All right. Keep going. Now, let's get our actual. Let's just call this USDC decimals, because it's not the decimals for all the tokens. Every token has its own decimals, so it's very different. So this is only for USDC, for example. For USDC on DevNet, by the way. For USDC on mainnet, I think it's 6 decimals, if I'm correct. Not too sure, but you should look it up as well. You can easily look at that by actually just going into an explorer like SolScan and just looking up the actual token mint. So for this, for USDC on mainnet, it's going to be very simple. Just search USDC. You're able to see, and you're going to be able to see right here the decimals. So it's going to be 6 decimals. But for our token that works for testing on DevNet, it has 9 decimals. It's a token that we created at Hxro. So yeah, it's a little different. But yeah, anyways, let's keep going. Now we're going to actually get the fun part, which is going to be the odds of these pools. So we're going to do the const on odds. Also then const short odds. Yes. Now long odds should be just calculate net odds. We're going to pass in first the actual side, so it's going to be long pool. And we're going to pass in the total amount, which is going to be total pool. Then we're going to pass in a rake. So this function right here is not very what's it called? It's very boilerplate function. It's not really anything that's connected to the network. It's from the SDK, the calculate net odds, but it's really just an easy function to do it, right? So you can calculate your own odds here based on the rake amount or the fee, the general fee of the network, plus any added fees that you added to your front end. So if we're doing this just with the fees of the network, you would have to add here a 0.03% as well, because that's how much a network takes after all the winnings. So the odds might not be perfect, but they're close enough. Calculating net odds. Yeah, same thing here. Nice. Okay, we got our odds. Now let's get our pop key. Oh, right. For the pop key specifically, it's outside of the info it's outside of the info object inside of Pari contest. So we actually have to get from the actual party contest again. So we're going to do party contests. And for the first one, dot pub key. There we go. And we're just going to put it to base 58. All right. Then we're going to get the actual locks time. So the time it locks up. So we're going to do a const lock time equals contest dot. There's got to be time window start. Perfect. All right, so that's all the data that we really need at the moment. So yeah. So actually, you know what? To make it more easy as well for this for the eye, because one of the things that happens with this, and I'm going to show you right now, is that whenever we have the long pull as well, since it could have a lot of decimals, it could be very off-putting to see how many how far away it is. So it's kind of like how do you say, like, imagine you have like a regular pool, but with the rake and all the feeds and everything, it basically goes to like a bunch of decimals, right? So it's like 99.98, like that. And we don't want to show that kind of thing. It's not very user friendly. So all we're gonna do is you're just gonna truncate that to the second. So all we're gonna do is just do this thing where we're gonna do long pools. That's why we set long pools to any, because we're gonna be actually converting it into a string, I believe, right now. Yeah. Which just place it. Doesn't matter really. But yeah. Okay, so now long pull is going to be long pull to fix 2. Well, not really, actually, the thing that I said before. Forget what I said before. Just all we're doing is just making it a little bit more, user friendly to see, more user readable, maybe, to fixed. Right. Sorry, I forgot. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, yep. Now what we can do is just, just build up our party object. So now we have our set party obj. We're going to set it up with all our data that we already gathered. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to pass in our long pool. Wait a second. Oh shit! Look at that. Snakes have a snake case. Snake case. Weird. My puck is fine, to be honest. Right. How about that? Okay. So now we're gonna just assign the variables to the actual, object. So long pool is that. Now we're gonna do short pool. Short pool. And after that, I believe is long odds, and then short odds, and then pub key. There we go. Beautiful. All right. So we already have our object here. Now we're also going to set our Okay, this is going to be a different beast at the moment, so let's just focus on this data at the moment. So now that we got our data here and we're setting it, we're gonna just start using it, I guess. So let's just do that real quick with the party object over here. All we really have to do is just add below. So let's just do a div. Bring that in here. Do party obj dot. Let's do sample. So it's gonna be something like let's stringify it actually. Put it into string. It's gonna be long pool. We're gonna do the same thing here for short pool. We're gonna do the same for long odds. And we're going to do the same for short odds. Right. And we can actually just get the pop key from the same object that we passed it in. So actually no. So sorry about that. It's a misconception that it's an error that I just made. So this right here, you're saying, is actually the series ID pop key. So this pop key is for the 1 minute series. So for all the contests that are going to be in the 1 minute, it's going to be under this one basically. So it's different from the actual pop key of the contest. So we can just do this right here. So I'm just going to do series pop key. Nice. We're going to do here div. Do here just the actual pop key of the contest. So contest. All right, nice. So this should be working. Maybe not, but it should be working to some extent. Cannot read properties of undefined. Reading long pool. Undefined. Right. Okay. Sorry. Let's add a question mark before anything else. I believe that should work now. There we go. Nice. All right. So here's all our data. Pretty cool. So we got our series ID, like we said before. We got the long pool. So there's about $87 USDC on DAVnet on the long pool. There's about 87 USDC on the short pool. Long odds are 194 for long, and short odds are 194. So yeah, this is pretty cool, eh? So from this, we can actually start building up our components so that we can then pass in the contest pub key into the actual placing position box that we're going to create, so that we can use that to place a position for the user whenever they want to place it for the exact moment, for the exact contest when they are placing it in. So yeah, let's get right into that. All right, so now let's actually get into another thing that's a little bit more fun. So this right here, you're going to be able to copy paste from the actual document because it's a lot of boilerplate, right? It's not really something that you need to learn, so it's pretty standard. So All we gotta do is just paste it in. Let me just format it real quick. Format that with pre-year. Oh, it's not formatting. Anyways, whatever. So let's just this. Locks time, it has to be lock time. And set countdown time. I think I called that on this one specifically, set countdown. Yep, I did. There we go. And what is this for? Interesting. I think I may have this. There we go. All right. So now we also have our contest timer right here, which is going to format the actual Unix code timestamp that we're getting here, and it's formatting in a way that we can showcase it to users like a clock, like an actual countdown. So now we can actually see that. So if we just put here a div, just do here time to start or time to lock equals, just do here, and it's going to be countdown. There we go. Right now, this should be an actual clock. All right. Pretty nice. I think if I just refresh again, 55. Yeah, 10 new contests. So of course, it's still not updating every second. So to actually see it, you gotta refresh it a little bit, and you can see that it's going down in time every time you refresh it. So yeah, pretty cool. But to actually make all this data, more, to constantly get this data and to constantly, be able to show the user live data from the blockchain, let's actually, set a constant interval so that we can call our data every 1 second. So just gotta copy this. I'm gonna replace this right here with this set interval, and we have right here get per data. Yep, same words. Okay, so that's all you really need. After that, always remember to do a return as well. We're gonna return to we clear the interval after we do it, so we don't have any mess ups here. And this is the reason actually why we were clearing local storage at the top of this function, because we don't want data to just accumulate and to make the app slower for the user, because it's just it's just pulling up data every second. So we don't want it to just store away and do nothing in the local storage. So yeah, right. Now that we have this set, we should be able to see it updating live on the actual app. So if we see it right here, there we go. Nice. So now we got our contest, we got a lockup, we got our, we're displaying the actual contest right here live. Okay, so if we want to see this data just live update, actually, as you can see right here, we have somebody put in an extra $300. So that was actually me a minute ago, but let's actually see it live. So we can head over to Dev Parameter Network, which is a test UI that we built. It's open source. You can go check it out at our repo and under Hxro.network. So on Heroes Dash Network, I think that's the name of our organization. So you're going to be able to see this, basically Parimutuel UI repo. But anyways, let's place a quick trade. Let's do 100. So let's check back on the pool. There's 87. So let's place a trade right here. Proof transaction. And right here, there you go. Fast as that. That's Solana for you, baby. So fast. Jesus. Okay. So, we're already getting our data. It's live. It's updating from the blockchain. It's not clogging our local storage. So everything is good so far. So now let's go back to here. And let's start and let's just keep going. All right, so what I recommend you is to actually copy this return right here, because you don't want to write down all that CSS, and it's really not necessary for what we want. And we're already displaying data that we need, so all you really need to do is just delete this return and open this up. Countdown. Bring that down to just countdown. All right, everything should be fine now. I'm just gonna format this with prettier, so it looks nicer. All right, nice. Now, we're gonna display our data in a more concise manner. In an easier to see manner, more nice. So let's reload. Fairly, I guess. Looks to be something wrong here. Let me look at what's wrong on the CSS side. So we're getting 1 minute. Long chart pool. Oh, I see. It's not extending enough, so it's not that. It needs to be a little bit thicker width. Let's just do 20 rem. Is that too much? Perfect. Okay. So yep. Now we got all data. We got it in a nice little box display. So yeah, pretty cool there. So let's just keep going to actually create our place position component to place trades and whatnot. But for Paribox, for this component, we're all set, which is pretty cool. All right, so our Paribox component will be placed here. So let's just go to place position box now, and we're gonna start working from here. All right, so actually, bonus, we can actually display all the data that we want for all the markets like this. So all we really have to do is just copy this real quick. We head back to our views. We head to home, and we go to the index, and let's delete this real quick and place this whole thing here. And yep. All right. Now we should actually be seeing. There we go. We got 5 of them. Nice. So I'm actually going to downsize a little bit more on this because they're a little bit too big. So if we go back to Paribox, we're going to downsize the font size for all of this. So where do we do that here? Where it is, so that margin font size 30 px. Let's just do that to 25 px. H1. Then we don't have any more font size here. Weird. Okay. And for this div right here, we're also going to do max, but it's going to be like, let's just do like 20 px. See how that looks? All right, that's better. That means that we can actually make it smaller. So if you do 15 rem, that should work now. There we go. All right, that's nicer. So yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. We're getting our data for every market here. We're able to enter the trades. We're able to display data live from the blockchain. So every time it updates, it automatically snaps, like immediately gets data and pulls it and showcases it to us. So this is pretty fun. So actually, let's just test it a little bit real quick. Let's just do it real quick. Let's just go to, let's place a trade on every market. So let's place here. Oh, that's too much. Let's place 433 here. Transaction. You can see right here, bam, updated immediately. Now let's go to the 5 minute. Place one here as well. Bam, right there. Fast, easy, pretty straightforward. So pretty fun, eh? I really like this. Personally, I think it's so fun that you actually have the power of Solana. Like only in Solana you can power something this smooth and this fast, where it's like actually immediate like user experience, which is insane. How Anatoly says, at the speed of light. All right, so that's it for this first section. It was very fun. Now we're going to head over to the second section, which is going to be creating the place position box. And after that, we're going to get into the juicy part, which is going to be actually placing trades from our app so that any user can connect a wallet to this application and actually start placing trades on any market that they want. So yeah, see you guys in the next section.